Marcus Tullius Cicero was born on January 3rd, 106 BC, in the small town of Arpinum, roughly 60 miles southeast of Rome. Despite being born in the lower end of the equestrian social class, he became well versed in the art of rhetoric and made a habit of frequenting Athens in order to further his knowledge. Subsequently, this training would prove to benefit him in the two subjects most pertinent to rhetoric: law and politics. In accordance with the cursus honorum, Cicero began his public career in the military, but became a famous lawyer shortly thereafter. Due to his newfound fame, he became a quaestor in 75 BC. As he further ascended the cursus honorum, he befriended many other prominent figures, including Julius Caesar, who invited Cicero to join the first triumvirate, but Cicero chose not to join. Although Cicero lived in a time in which the future of the Republic was uncertain, Cicero, through his orations, was able to evoke a sense of reliability in both the Roman people and the Senate. Therefore, he was elected consul in 63 BC. While this appointment solidified his power in Roman politics, it also acted as a catalyst for his downfall. After the deaths of Rome's two most prominent figures, Julius Caesar and Pompey the Great, the two most powerful figures were now Mark Antony, a longtime friend of Caesar, and Cicero. As with Odysseus and Ajax in their dispute for the armor of Achilles, Antony and Cicero argued over who could best carry out the wishes of Caesar. Mark Antony petitioned for himself, while Cicero glorified the heir of Caesar, Octavian. However, due to this decision, Cicero was assassinated on December 7th, 43 BC. All of the aforementioned actions of Cicero were examples of his influence on literature, which can be primarily attributed to the fields of oratory and rhetoric. Cicero utilized rhetoric in his literary works, but he also utilized it in his speeches, which is often why he is referred to as one of the greatest orators in history. One of the most prevalent examples of the effectiveness of his speeches is exemplified through a series of his speeches entitled the Philippics. In these speeches, Cicero denounces Antony as a fool, while referring to Octavian as an act of providence. These speeches, paired with his assassination which made him a martyr, was one of the most influential factors in Octavian becoming emperor. Cicero's influence, however, is not constrained to ancient Rome. Due to his passion for literature, he created several books that were fairly popular in Rome, but ultimately gained true prominence in the Renaissance, when his books were often standard issue for scholars. The two most popular of these books were De Invention and De Oratory. The former of these focused on the basics of rhetoric and his individual interpretation of it, with the correlation between these two concepts resulting in the coinage of the term the five canons of rhetoric. In his other and slightly more famous book, De Oratory, he discusses the versatility of rhetoric and its powerful abilities in dialogue, but with this power he also stresses the importance of moral fortitude. Due to their success and their stress of morality, they became popular with some of history's most prominent figures, including Petrarch, John Locke, and Martin Luther King Jr.